Hi, I'm Miss Deda from the School of Design and Media. Today we're going to talk about early admission exercise. Specifically, we're going to talk about portfolio preparation. What should you put together in order for you to enter the diploma of your choice through the early admission exercise? As you may know, we have 8 wonderful diplomas. Let me do this thing for you. I will introduce all the diplomas to you one by one, show you what we do, how we do it a little bit, and then I will tell you what you should put together for your portfolio if you wish to enter that specific diploma. So I'm going to go not in this order, but more or less. First of all, let's talk about what you need to put together for your portfolio. You should have minimum 6 pieces, maximum 10. You don't want to have more than that. We are looking for curation. What you need to have is specifically, artwork that show us your interest and your passion, and they should be related to the diploma of your choice. I mean, if you do a character design and you submit it to architecture wouldn't know what to do with it. We want to have artwork that tell us most about yourself, who you are, how you see the world, and of course we are looking for a different range of finishing. So you could have black and white drawing, traditional digital, you could have 3D models, you could have photography, videos, and so on. After the test, you will be required to do an interview with us, and that's where you will bring your extra stuff. So for instance, you could have a lot of extra doodles, you could have a lot of extra concept and ideas. The interview is a good time to share that part of your creativity with you. But for portfolio, we need curation. I'm going to start with the diploma in animation and visual effects because it's been our flagship diploma for many, many years. Almost 25, I would say. Okay, so let me show you what you would learn in the diploma of animation and visual effects. Something like this. Well, this is an animatic. Animatic is something that you create with a storyboard and you put together to be able to do 2D animation. But we don't just do 2D. We also do concept art, like this one. In this case, the student created a model in 3D using ZBrush and then he painted over in Photoshop. Or we do something like this. This is a still frame from Unsinkable. It's a final year project done by our students in year 3. The whole scene was model, texture, render, lit, and by our students, and the whole film was animated in 4 minutes. Now, this is our animation process. We will start with storyboard, going to animatic, we do 3D modeling, our Play Blast, which is a 3D version of the animatic. Then we do 3D animation, rendering, texturing, and then there's the final output with a little bit of color correction and beautification of the shot. When it comes to visual effects, we focus a lot on the physics of natural elements. Think about rain, smoke, fire, snow, explosions, because we always like explosion. So every single time we have to animate particles, we use this software called Houdini. We are the only Houdini certified school in Southeast Asia, and Houdini is a tool used by the industry. So what you see here is some of that particle animation kind of thing. But we also do compositing. What is compositing? Would you believe me if I told you I'm in a green room right now? That's where I am. What you see behind me, all these lights, are composited in. The green is being keyed out using the software, and it looks like I'm standing in front of a giant screen showing you the slides. But actually everything around me is pretty green. What do you need to prepare for your portfolio for animation and visual effects? So of course we're looking for any kind of creative artwork. It could be black and white, in color, from real life and imagination. Actually, one fundamental requirement for all diplomas is observational drawings. Means that you need to draw a lot from life. Go outside, sketch the view from the window, or sketch your own room, do a portrait of someone, draw shoes, draw animals. We need to see that you are able to observe things and put them into paper. Your observation skills are very important to us. What else do you need? Well, quick sketches would be nice, drawings, you may have some character design and illustration, but they shouldn't be your focus. You don't want to have too many of the same thing. You want to have variety. All right, so sequentiality is also very important for this diploma. So everything that will tell us a story with a series of continuous images would be nice. So if you have videos, it will be particularly welcome. If you have a comic, one more thing we'd like to see. How about you show us a little bit of 3D? So these are examples of work done by students who enter our diplomas through early admission exercise in previous years. You can see a lot of little sketches and doodles, watercolor, some drawing from life, there's an MRT drawing down there, but also 3D model, as you can see up here. You may want to pick up Blender and try the donut tutorial. It's quite easy to try and do, and it's very fun. Of course, you will see some sketches from life, like a building, a person, still life, compositional drawings, as well as arts and craft, because we like to see that you are creative in single aspects of your life. Next, we'll talk about digital game art and design. There is a very big difference between playing games and making them. And this is exactly what you learn in this diploma. When we first start, you learn from the fundamentals. Actually, no matter what diploma you go through, you will learning a little bit of coding and fundamental drawings in your first semester. Because you need to learn all of this knowledge to something like this, which is your work creation. Of course, if animator and visual effects students are storyteller, game art design students are work creators. So what they need to do is you need to be able to create 3D model like this. They create games for all kind of platform, for PlayStation, they do pixel art, they do 2D games, but in general it all starts from here. Concept art. So what you see here is a lineup for a Hercules game based on Greek mythology, which seems to be quite big with you guys at the moment. So what do you need to put together in a portfolio for digital game art and design? Of course, it's any creative artwork and no more than 10 pieces. Like I said, curation is very, very important. Observational drawings are also very, very important. So again, they could be black and white in color, traditional and digital. But what they're looking for is actually a little more of 3D models, because they really want to see you try out the media. And then, traditional artwork of character design. If you're a work creator, you don't just want to give me characters, you want to have environment, the character in the environment, props, creature design, because, in games you need to have all of those elements. Here are some examples of work submitted to us in previous year by students who enter our diploma of digital game art design through early admission exercise. So you can see sketches of character, compositional drawings, watercolors, and then some observational drawings. And then of course, a character design with her props, because this prop belongs to this girl up here, as well as 3D. So you will see some 3D model here. This one up here is also a 3D model. And then, digital illustration or something like that, like compositional environment drawings. Now let's talk about game development and technology. So I want to talk about this diploma because it's just recently started doing this professional competency model. And it's in collaboration with Unity and Sony and many more. So how does the professional competency model works? Imagine you have a basket full of fruits. You can pick the apple and make applesauce. You can pick the strawberries and make jam. Or you can pick different kind of fruits and make a fruit salad. Basically, you don't learn the modules in the traditional way that, you take all your classes and then you get your diploma in the end, You actually get certified along the way. If you take a certain cluster of modules, you will be certified to use Unity or Unreal Engine and so on. So what will you learn in this diploma? Well, a lot of things. Problem solving skills amongst all, because, this is a diploma for those of you who want to create games, but maybe you cannot drop. It's a diploma for programmers. So you will learn a different coding language every semester. You will be programming for all sorts of platforms. We have a Sony PlayStation Lab that is not meant for playing. It's meant for creating games for Sony PlayStation. So these are some examples of work done by the students over the year. We recently moved on to virtual reality a little more. Like this one. It's supposed to cure you from your fear of heights. I still scream like a little kid when I play this game, but it's quite fun. And you will see many more work done by the students if you log into Steam, for instance. Our students also started working more and more onto artificial intelligence. As we know, artificial intelligence is the future. So more career opportunity in that field are coming along the way. So what do you need to put together in a portfolio for game development technology? You might be thinking, well, you know, right, this is not a diploma for artists, so definitely I don't need drawings. Wait. But you may have created little video games, and maybe you have snippets of codes for it. Maybe you have uploaded them somewhere. So why don't you share that with us? Maybe you have an idea or a concept for a game that you have a mind map for, or you have created a little model, I don't know, using Minecraft even. So those are good examples of items that you can put in your portfolio, like this. So as you can see, this person here created a model of a level using Lego bricks, or they sketched, or they created a little mind map. Let's talk now about visual communication. So a lot of you will want to know what's the difference between visual communication, motion graphic, mass comm, and so on. So mass comm and mass media management are more on the business side of things, whereby our visual communication and motion graphics are more on the creative aspects. Now, the output for visual communication and motion graphics are quite different. Visual communication is more outputted towards printing, towards physical, whereby motion graphics is more on digital. Though Viscom still does a little bit of video. Let me show you some of the things they do. So they start off with foundations, because visual communication is about communicating through images. So of course they would do like digital media campaign and things like that. But they learn to do illustration, they learn to draw, they learn to tell stories. So some of the things that you will see, for instance, in visual design are projects like this, which are gigantic illustrations that span for 3 stories. Or they will do visual merchandising. Sometimes it has to do with setting up a proper window displays for merchandise, or visual branding and identity, which has to do, you know, with creating an identity for a firm or for a small business, their logo, their packaging, so they're very recognizable. Now, some of the internship will look like this. This girl, she went to Disney and she created work for Tsum Tsum. So what do you need to put in a portfolio if you wish to enter the diploma of visual communication through early admission exercise? Again, any creative artwork, you know, no more than 10 pieces, black and white, from life or imagination, all kind of media. They like to see drawing and concept, initial sketches of ideas that you may have. But they like observational drawings a lot too, and a little bit of illustration. And maybe your illustration are made with paper cutout or origami, like this. So these are some sample of work that were submitted in previous years. So you can see a little paper cutout, sketches, observational drawings like this, or a little illustration in colors. Let's talk about motion graphics then, because it's a sister diploma to visual communication. Now, motion graphic is similar to animation in a way that it has animation in it with visual effects, but it's very fast-paced. It's borderline advertisement, and instead of telling you a story, sometimes it does, but it's a very fast one, they tend to convey ideas and concept more. Like this. This is the National Day Parade. Our students have been working on the National Day Parade for almost 11 years now. And, you know, they will curate some of the chapter, creating the motion graphics and the moving animation behind the performances. Now, these are works created for a commercial for Rolls-Royce. Why am I showing you this? Because you will see some 3D and then you will see some visual effects. Now, they're not using Houdini. What they're using is their knowledge that they learned in experimental film. They needed to create smoke. So what did they do? They drop paint in water. Now, what do you need to put in a portfolio for motion graphic design if you wish to join this wonderful diploma? Well, again, any creative artwork, no more than 10 images, black and white, from life or from imagination. Like I said, observational drawings are everything to us. But look at this, Vimeo and YouTube. Maybe you like to edit videos. Maybe you like to create some little motion animation. Do share them with us. Please make sure that whatever content you're editing belongs to you. Don't do edit or pre-existing videos, because you will be asked during the interview if it belongs to you, and maybe it does not. They're looking also for painting or design. They like calligraphy, they like photography. So really they want to see how creative you are. So these are examples of work submitted to us in previous year. And then you can see some watercolor, some acrylic, a collage done with the photography, and typography. This cute little design here have to do with typography and creating fonts. Let's talk about architecture now. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking architectural, make houses what? Sure. But it's also about recreating the environment around the human. Like you could have a classroom and all the students are sitting in a row, and then, the board is very far from the one sitting in the back. What if you could redesign the school? What if you could redesign the classroom so that nobody sits in the back and everybody gets to see the board? That's what architecture is also about. It's about putting the human at the center of the universe. Because this diploma, like the next two that follow, are called experiential diploma. They really focus on the person experiencing what's in front of them. So you would see something like this. This is a pre-existing space. The interior was all looked and then redesigned in a curvy way so they would save on aircon. Because if there is one word that I can use for architecture, for this specific diploma, is sustainable. They are really focusing on the sustainability of the materials. Are they 0 kilometer? Are they recycled? And so on. And that's the main difference with all the other diplomas out there. So what are they looking for in a portfolio? Observational drawing, sketches that show us, a bit of perspective. They could be black and white or in color, different media. And then, if you participated in any workshop, do let us know. So what do you need to put in a portfolio for architecture? Well, like I said, it's still any creative artwork, no more than 10 images. But look at this here, all right? They want to see your ideas going from sketches to prototyping to finished product. They want to see that you understand perspective. Maybe you go out and sketch houses a lot. Maybe you even sketch a room. I know it's interior design, but they want to see if you have a favorite architect or something like that. Now, I'm going to talk to you about interaction design. I always have difficulties trying to explain what interaction design until I realize I can show you this. This is a smartphone. Phones weren't always very smart. They used to have a lot of buttons and a keyboard on the outside, very bulky. They open and close like clamps, like that. And then at one point, somebody was having a very hard time sending a message to another person and decided, I need to find an easier way to type on this device. And so they put the keyboard inside on the screen and they invented smart gesture. Tap, swipe, rotate, pinch. That person was an interaction designer. So what do you learn in interaction design? Well, you will create website and apps like this one. This is for those of you who like to run like a ninja. Of course, you can try it on Google Play and an Apple Store. But let me show you my favorite. This guy here. This guy won an Indigo Award. It's a wonderful little app. You know why I like it very, very much? because it allows you to scan a menu and see the food before it reaches your plate. So you go out on a restaurant and you're wondering, what does this plate look like? How big is the portion? Then you can scan the menu, see the AR of the food, the augmented reality on the plate, and then you go like, I think this is too big for me. Maybe I order something smaller. I love it. The one at the bottom instead are projection mapping. And for this project, the students won a Crowbar Award. Now, this is also one of my favorite things, because another thing that interaction design students do are art installations. This was done in collaboration with the Art Science Museum for an exhibition called the Human Plus. What I like about it is that, people were enjoying and having a fun time with this silicon rubber sculpture. And, the person in the video, in the screen above the sculpture would react. This guy is having the time of his life, slapping the hand. The person in the video is going, oh yeah, why like that? What this guy doesn't know is that the moment he walks around, he would see his own reaction to the whole experience, which is an experience within an experience. So what do you need to put together if you want to join the Diploma of Interaction Design? Any kind of creative artwork, black and white from life or imagination, no more than 10 pieces. But this is a diploma they want to see your problem-solving abilities. So of course they want to see drawing, they want to see photograph, but what if you created a website? What is the user experience, the user interface like? Because you do a lot of that in interaction design. Maybe you created a little app. Do you want to share that with us? So these are some sample of work that was sent to us in previous years. And then you can see photography, you can see watercolor sketches, but also something like this. This is a little circuit or something like that. Okay, that's a little, it's a little dice that make decisions for you. Let's talk now about experiential product and interior design. These two disciplines came together because they share the word experience. And that's what they do. They design experience for the person. Like this. They could recreate a space, interior mostly, though this is a bicycle track. Because maybe I forgot to mention this, but we have a lot of interdisciplinary projects. So this, can feel like it's architecture, but, the line in between diplomas are quite blurred sometimes. And over here, what you see is product design, from food to shoes to a headset. How do you reach the end product? Everything starts from an idea. It will start in sketch form and it will develop until you choose the one that you like, and you end up creating a prototype, and from the prototype comes the final model. This is a very hands-on diploma. Since year one, you learn to create different material to create model maquettes of everything that you are creating, of every single project you're doing. For that specific module, So you could use plexiglass, or you could 3D print something. There is a room that's called the material room that you can go and have your tactile experience and feel the materials before you get to use them. And again, everything goes from sketch to 3D model to prototype. So what do you need to put together if you want to join this diploma? So for your portfolio, again, you want to have any kind of creative artwork. You want to have a wide range of work though, No more than 10 pieces. And again, they want to see you go from ideas to sketches to prototyping to finished product if you have it, which in past I've seen people bring to me a bag. It was quite outstanding. So do let us know if you participated in any competition of workshops that are related to the diploma. And show us that you have an understanding of perspective, and show us picture of the products. Like this. So this person wanted to create a camera whose focal length could move. A little bit like you reverse the camera in a phone. Or here you will see some sketches showing some perspective, but here at the bottom you would see an interior design, somebody redesigning their ideal home or their parents' house. So now that I've talked to you about all the different diplomas, you may be wondering, How do I join? Let's talk about enrollment procedure. For you, if you're watching this video, you're clearly more interested in the early admission exercise. The next one will be in June 2022. Of course, if you miss that opportunity, you will need to go through JAE or SDAE in 2023. Now you will see it says 2022 here because the one who missed early admission exercise in 2021 can try and come in through JAE and SDAE in 2022. So how does the early admission exercise work? Let's talk about it a little bit so that what's behind me will make sense to you. It's very simple. You can come in through portfolio. You show us your portfolio, you do a little test, you come to an interview, and if we like you, we offer you a place. Join us. We really like you. If you like us back, you will accept our offer. Yes, I will join you. After that, you have to take O-levels. Of course, you have to pass O-levels though, which means that you need to meet a minimum entry requirement. If you apply to any of these 6 diplomas, you have to score at least this much in these subjects for your offer to stand. If you fail any of these subjects, your offer will be revoked. For these 2 diplomas in particular instead, you need to score this much. You can see that math grades changed to meet the minimum entry requirements. Okay? Why did the math change here? Of course, you do programming, so there's mathematics in here. There's mathematics in here too. Okay? You cannot be bad in mathematics if you want to build houses, otherwise you kill people. Don't kill people. And if you do really, really well for your O-levels and you score 10 points and below, you get full 3-year scholarship, which if you ask me is a lot of breakfast in fancy cafe. Alright, very good. If you want to know more about the early admission exercise, you can visit NYP website, MOE website, or the early admission exercise portal. Be careful. If you do it too close to the date of the early admission exercise, some of these portals will receive so much traffic they will be down. So please visit them early. Haha. This is my favorite slide. So I told you what our diploma do and what you should put in portfolio. How do you know if you're going the right way? Well, we can help you with that. These are the dates of our portfolio consultation workshops. Consultation. It means that you already put together some work and you're coming to meet the lecturer from the diploma of your choice. And you will have a one-on-one consultation where you show them your work and then you ask them, am I doing it right? And that person will give you feedback. Maybe you should have more of this and less of that. So these are the dates. And don't forget that our open house is also coming very, very soon. And of course, lastly but not least, you can join our Discord channel. And here it is. This is the link to our Discord channel. If you join it, you will find me and many other lecturers, and we will guide you through the whole process of creating a portfolio. We'll teach you how to make an online portfolio using ArtStation or other platform. There's a lot of very useful videos. There is also a link to the video you're watching now, as well as the slide that I just showed you, and many more slides that will show you, for instance, if you have interest in further studies or what kind of career opportunities are open to you if you join a specific diploma. Of course, you're already on YouTube. Please don't forget to watch all the other videos. We have the demo reel of all the different diplomas, highlights of projects, as well as alumni and industry interview. You will find that our Instagram page is also quite lively. There is a very good snippet of what school life looks like, as well as what the students are currently doing in their semester. And then, of course, don't forget to join our Facebook page. This QR code here will take you to the NYP website in case you want to contact the admissions office or you are in need of financial help. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. All the links that you see behind me will also be in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us. Bye!